Good morning, good morning. So today I'm going to make a big attempt of showing you who you really are, who you truly are, okay? So this is in reference to the straw man. So welcome to Tea Talk and Tea Leaves with me, Matthewhaines. And so I'm making a couple of little changes. So this is now the what's in the box. Okay, the reason is for that is I've decided just to use the Yogi Tea. So inside this box is a Yogi Tea. So obviously there's different flavours and different messages. So this is about tuning in, using your intuition in order to discover what the next tea bag is that's coming out. So obviously you've got the different flavours, you've got the colours, and also you've got the caption on it. So connecting in a way to yourself with that intuition to actually get this information rather than guessing. So it's not about guessing, it's about actually using that intuition, so which is really cool. So, and I started that last week. I didn't tell anybody. So that the tea bag that came out was this one. So if anybody got that, that's great news. So, and this one's Wellbeing. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to flip the kettle on. But also, so today we've also got the pick a card. We do the pick a card. We're going to do a little bit about emotions again, and obviously deliberate happiness. This is going to be a theme now with deliberate happiness. This is really cool. And in particular, like I say, I'm going to help you, see, at least have a glimpse of who you truly are, and give you a little bit of help, bring a bit of perspective. Morning, Jules. I hope you're well today, buddy. So give a little bit of perspective. So today's tea is the Wellbeing, and the caption is, I can never read them. Live with reverence for yourself and others. I think that actually came out before, actually. Live with reverence for yourself and others. So, that's really simple. It's about holding that space for yourself and just acknowledging who you are and what you're about, and and just saying, do you know what? It's a Vidal Sassoon moment. It's I'm worth it. So it's that reverence for yourself is to honour yourself and just never put yourself down. Never put anybody else down. But I really feel if you're able to do that with yourself first, then there's no reason for that to happen with anybody else. Right, I'm going to flick the kettle on. Yeah, so the what's in the box has changed. Right, so this is about, I don't know if you're all aware of this, it's a thing called the straw man. Okay, so what the straw man is your worldly identity, okay, the identity that's given to you. So when we're born, obviously we're given a name. Now I'm not going to talk about names because names are a little bit different. There's power in names. The reason why we, on a spiritual level, we choose our names before we come in. So, and the way the letters are made up is actually really important. It's part of your life mission, life learning and stuff like that. So I'm going to cover that on Friday. I'm going to go into that a bit more on Friday, not today. And but the straw man is, so we're born, okay, and we're given our name. The birth certificate is filled in, and that gives you your official existence on the planet, so to speak. And then that's taken, you then have your blood test done. I don't know, whatever, 12 weeks. This is in the UK, so it's 12 weeks where they come and just do a prick of blood on the feet, and they, the soles of the feet are then pressed onto a piece of paper, and that actually goes off. In the olden days, that used to go off to the Vatican. Okay, so and this is really important. This is something that's really, really important. I'm going to cover this more in detail as well. So when that goes off, this is like an ownership sort of thing. This is where they use your energy in a particular way. Anyway, I'm not getting into that today. That's another video. But not that's really an issue at the moment. But and also then like in the UK, you get to a point where you're 16 years old and you get given your national insurance number. So your national insurance number is basically your tax identification. Okay, so that's with you throughout your life. Anything to do with money, that's the involvement. That's you. That's your identity. Really, it's not even your name. So these things are is what's referred to as the straw man, and it's created. And as we grow up and we're born, we get given a name. So we come into this identity. We're given our identity of male, of male, female, whatever your sex is, whatever your sexuality is, all these labels. But in particular with the straw man, it's about how we are led to believe that our identity is what we are given. So as we go through, and the government gives us this this whole identity, you know, we're led to believe that's who we are, but actually we are the point before that. Okay, so when you come in, your energy comes in, and the soul comes into the body as you know, as you're born, or whatever, you know, whenever the soul comes in. But as you're born, your true identity is actually that bit before all these labels start getting put on. Okay, getting put on. So this is a simple visualization. Okay, so and it's just imagine that when you're at that point of birth, you get all these things that come in. So, and you imagine you got your birth certificate, and you imagine, you know, you've had, you know, your blood test, you know, the blood sample put on a piece of paper, and you've had your national insurance number, which is, you know, in the UK is a national insurance number, and you just imagine that all those things, and what you do is you imagine all the identities. So for me, this is Matthewhaines, you know, my national insurance number, which I'm identify with. And every time I make a phone call, like do my car insurance or whatever like that, I give all these details of who I am, okay? But they're not real. That's just the label that's given to you within this world, okay? Yeah, so that's just the label that's given to you in this world. So this visualization is imagining all those points, all those bits of paper, all those, you know, energetic things out there that aren't you. Is to actually imagine them all. Okay, imagine your national insurance number, imagine your birth certificate, imagine, you know, anything that's associated with you. Every time, like you know, when you sign a rental agreement, or you know, your mortgage or whatever like that, every time you sign that name, it's all those things. You should wrap them up in a ball and just throw them away. Okay, just imagine that you're throwing them into a bin. Okay, and imagine what you are and who you are without those things. Okay, without those labels. So you're throwing them in the bin, and you go and you just sit with the energy of what's left. Because, and this is a bit can be a little bit difficult to do, but you know, this is about discovering your true you. Okay, so you're not any of these labels that are put on you. You're not any of this description. And so the straw man is something that's invented by the government in order to track you. You know, in order to get you to pay your taxes, in order to get you to do this, you to do that. Okay, which is okay. That's the world we live in. But this is about the before aspect of that. Okay, so we're sitting in that before energy, and it's a little bit of a funny concept. But by imagine that you're sitting in that energy, and you imagine all these pieces of paper and all these things that you've done where you've written your name, okay, just screw them up and visualize that you're throwing them in the bin. And as you do that, this becomes, you know, there creates a void. Every time you create a void, every time you go through this imagination, you go, okay, that's done, so what's left? And it creates a void, and it's actually that void that you are. Okay, so that energy that's there, that's where you first experience who you are and what your energy is. Okay, because your energy is beyond all of that, beyond all of that labeling, even beyond the name. Okay, so yeah, especially beyond the name as well. The name is very different. Okay, so we're coming up to the 1111 portal. So that 1111 portal is really important. So, and after this, we'll just do a little bit about deliberate happiness. Okay, so deliberate happiness is sometimes it's difficult, you know what I mean? But you know, it's a cool thing. I love doing that. I love doing it. And then we'll get on to pick a card, and we'll do the tea leaf reading as well. So we're just coming up to that now. So it's about 9 or 10 minutes past now. So a good way to trick your mind is just to breathe. Okay, so meditation is about the mind going quiet. Okay, but in particular in this one, when it comes to connecting to your heart, this is super important. When you make this decision, you know, just go through a decision process, connecting to the heart is actually something that is fundamental to our well-being. Okay, I mean absolutely fundamental to our well-being. And it's fundamental to any future decisions that we make about ourselves. You know, any decisions we make in our, you know, for the future, for our families. So it's just a case of imagine that you're breathing into your heart. That's what I do. And I do that from the 360, from all the way around me in a sphere, as if I'm breathing into my heart, because it centers your energy into your heart. And just put with that a feeling of love, grace, gratitude, something that you're really happy with. And when you do this, and you do this regularly, it's not just about the time of 11:11. It's also, if you do this regularly, you're sending this out to in your existence, that this is the preferred setting. I could sit like that for hours. So, this is like I say, it's a centering technique. You can do it anywhere. I mean, it's something that's so super important. And if you're making any decisions in your life, that is definitely the way to go. It really, really is. So, that's creating from the purity rather than the mind. Anytime the mind gets involved, it's a thing called duality. Okay, we can talk about that some more. I don't know what the signal's like, because I'm on the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi in it can be quite bad, but it is what it is. Can't do anything about that. So, deliberate happiness. Okay, deliberate happiness is really, really important for me, because I spent a lot of my time in a negative mindset, and to change your mind from a negative mindset to a positive mindset is actually really easy, but it takes a continued effort. Okay, for a period of time until it becomes the default setting, and to reform an actual a new habit within the mind, within the brain. It takes anything from 18 days to a year. What I mean? But if you do it and you're diligent with it, then actually this becomes really, really good and really powerful. So deliberate happiness is about those times in your life when you're actually having a bad time, but you actually go and make yourself be happy. It's deliberate happiness. You go out, and rather than saying to people, and this is not about suppressing feelings. Okay, it's not about bottling up. If you need to have a vent and you need to say, get something off your chest, then say it. What I mean? Because we don't bottle up energy. It's not important. A good thing to bottle up emotions. But when it comes to deliberate happiness, it's something we can actually choose to do, and it's these positive emotions are our default setting, our true default setting. So when we're out and about and we're interaction with other people around us, we can try this on, and by being deliberately happy, or when we're interacting with people, just try it on every now and just say, when someone says, "Oh, how are you?" So I'm really happy. I am really happy, and they go, "Oh, why? What's happened in your life?" And you can come up with whatever you want to, but for me, I like to say, well, it's just because I'm happy, because there is it's the default setting, so to speak. So, and it also gives people an opportunity around you to actually be happy as well, and to understand that default setting of happiness, because we can all go down the grumpy route. We can always have this negativity around us, and we can all moan about what's going on in our lives. But the point of deliberate happiness is to actually see the goodness that is within our lives. So when you're looking around, and you look at your life, and just look at the things that are good. Look at the things that you aren't happy with, and focus on them, and then you'll attract more happiness into your life. This is how it works. This is really true. It's where attention goes, energy flows. Okay, so every time you choose to do something of a positive nature, or experience in a positive way, and you make that that active decision to do that, then the universe reflects that back to you. Okay, and this is a very simple thing, especially when you're doing it from the heart. This is why I keep on going on about the heart meditations and things like that. Okay, so deliberate happiness is a wonderful thing. It really is. Okay, it is a wonderful thing. If you can get so good at this, and you can do it, because it's not even people say about faking it till you make it sort of thing and stuff like that. It's not really that like that. It's more of a case of actually this is the default setting, and we we spend time with it to realise that, and once we realise that, we we become it, and it's because it is really us, and it's it's certainly far better than these other things. So like I've said before, there's 27 different emotional responses that we have. 27, that's all. 27, and some of them are good, some of them are positive, negative, but they're just emotional reactions. You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of different things. But you imagine yourself when you're in a bad situation, or when someone's not agreeing with you, or something's going wrong in your life. Doing the deliberate happiness doesn't necessarily change the situation, okay? But it actually makes the situation easier to deal with, and also it changes the flow of energy around your body, and all the endorphins that are released from your brain into your body. So you're not getting the stress hormones going around your body. So actually, by doing the deliberate happiness, you're getting the positive vibration, and there's no stress, no anxiety in those places, and you're able to deal with situations in a different way. From that point, in that object view of happiness. And when you talk about this with people as well, it does intrigue people. It can freak them out a little bit. Oh, you're happy, or you're one of those types, are you? Oh yeah, I'd much prefer to be happy than not. You know what I mean? But it's you get to see where people actually are conditioned to be negative over positive. Okay, and it just takes a little bit of time to change your mindset. So as we do this, as we go through our lives and we have our interactions with different people, and you're always trying to be happy, it's not important to get it right all the time, and it's certainly not about suppressing any emotion, because there's healing in when someone's coming up in an emotion. One of the most powerful ways you can deal with that is by actually understanding why that's coming up. So the emotion comes up, but it's identifying why the emotion comes up, because then you can transform that energy. Okay, so it's not about suppression. It's actually about how changing your mindset to a positive mindset, and then when these things do come up, and you can look at it from a positive perspective and work through the problems rather than from a negative perspective, and build on that negativity. So this is the importance of it. So I'm going to do pick a card 1, 2, or 3 after I've had a sip of tea. That's really nice. The Wellbeing one's got a lovely flavour to it. I don't know what's got in it. Forever young, it says on there. That's good. Forever young, eh? Don't know what she's actually got on it. The ingredients are on the back anyway. So pick a card 1 to 3. So this is obviously done with the positive intention. So there's something going on within your life at this moment in time that you could do with an answer to. So I always shuffle the cards. 1, 2, or 3 is what you're thinking. So I do this with positive intention. So this is the right answer, the right outcome, free of any negativity. It's all positive. Positive, light, love, clarity, all those positive things, and happiness. So first card is the King of Michael. Principled, rational, ambitious, and respected. That's nice. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. Okay, so that's card number 1. Card number 2. Oh, Queen of Michael. So we've got a bit of Archangel Michael going on today. Brilliant, self-reliant, insightful, and humorous. Oh, sounds like me. You know exactly what to do. The benefit of experience a time for your career rather than relationships. Okay, cool. You know exactly what to do. The benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than relationships. That means hit the go button, whatever you want to do. That's just about, and it's protected. And also it's got the gold frame around it, just standing out on that one. Didn't stand out on the other one. So you've got the golden flowers. So that's a lot of golden energy that's coming in there with that. That's really good. Oh my God. And you've got the 5 of Merkle, so it's all Archangel Merkle today. He's stealing the show. All that energy, not he. And this one is, this situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking more uplifting approach. The situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. You know, like that. So that there, you know, this is a law of attraction thing, all right? Really is a law of attraction. So we got 3 cards of Archangel Michael there. So, you know, letting go of things and not having a desire for outcome. So what that means is when we're creating, we've got an idea, we're trying to do something for a particular reason, and we have this idea that it's going to take us in this direction, but actually it might not. So when we hold this vision of a particular direction or a particular flow, then actually we can be hindering what's coming, because although we've had this idea, we've had our epiphany, we've decided what we want to do, and we think that what's coming is the right thing for us, but actually by holding too much of a tight vision on it, you're not allowing the universal energy just to come in and give you exactly what you need. Okay, and which is, you know, if you set, when you're doing anything, if you're creating, you're doing anything, you all set the intention that it's going to be for your highest and greatest good, you know, this or something better, then you allow for something better to come in. So it's about starting the flow of motion, okay, and making those positive steps forward, but not worrying about what, you know, where it's going to go. It's about just concentrating on that moment and allowing it to flow, okay. So especially now we're in the I can't talk. We're in the physical, the feminine energies. Okay, so feminine energy is about flow. It's about synchronicity, and it's about, you know, just following where things are going and being a bit more free and just allowing things. So, you know, it's allowing things to come in from other directions that you wouldn't necessarily think of. Okay, you know, it's allowing, you know, sometimes you can be quite blindsided by things and it give you a big change of direction. It comes in, but had you not had the original vision, you wouldn't have got to that point, you know. So it's important not to hold too tightly that the outcome or the vision that you have. Of, you know, for instance, if you're doing something for your business and having this big successful event in the future, you know, the super duper thing that you're heading towards, actually that could be hindering something else that's coming along that's even better for you. Okay, so that's really important. So that's the 3 cards today, which are all Archangel Michael, all blue. So that's really good. That's really cool. So the what's in the box for next week, from the Friday, I've revealed this. I've decided just to use the Yogi Teas, and the reason I've decided to do that is just so we can all tune into this. We've got our pointer in the right direction. So it's about identifying ego. Okay, so in here is a Yogi Tea, and obviously they come in different flavours, they come in different colours, and you've got the captions on them as well, which is really, really cool. So we can go into this really simply. You've got the direction, and it's about identifying where you're in your heart and when the ego comes in to try and talk you out of what you've got going. It's really interesting. It's called intuition and not guessing. Okay, so that's cool. So I'm going to swig back my tea. I'll do the tea leaf, see what the tea leaves have got to say today. Which is a good bit of fun, although I do waste the tea bag too early. I always feel bad about ripping over the tea bag when I could get another tea out of it, you know. in these videos, I'm not sure really if I'm doing it right, you know, because, ooh, yeah, I look at a lot of videos and they're really polished. And they wouldn't get up and wander around during it. So, tea leaves, it's a rotation to the right, 3 times, setting the intention for only positive energies to be working. Obviously, ooh. So, there is hardly anything in there. That's cool. So, this is an opportunity, okay? So there's going to be, when I see this, is the energy update. So this is about how the human resonation and the spiritual growth of the planet. It's about the unity consciousness and the collective consciousness, okay, and what's going on within that. So and how it plays out on an individual level with each and every one of us. And this is a generalised thing of what's happening. So if you work with what's being said at the moment, so it's just saying about picking 2 things within you. So it doesn't matter what those 2 things are. It could be from the masculine aspect or the feminine aspect. It doesn't matter. But 2 things that are going on with your life that are sticking points. So, to do with health issues or anything that's going on. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay, and just pick those 2 things at the moment and allow yourself to sit within your heart and connect within that energy of yourself and view these things as if they're separate objects to you, because actually they are. Okay, so when you view things like that, and they're asking, what I'm being told is just to allow these 2 objects to appear in your aura and visualize that they're in your aura. So this is another opportunity to get into your heart. So you breathe into your heart first, get into that love, joy, grace, gratitude, that divine moment, that real divine connection to yourself, that moment. And just imagine that these 2 items, and this is both at the same time, okay? This is to show you what's going on and how the mind works. It's about the ego, but also when you go to these things, and it's to go to them, to understand them, but not to identify. So it's a case of going to these energies, whatever's going on, whatever's presenting itself, and just connecting to it, but from the outside looking in, as opposed to the absorption of it. Okay, so you go into it, and it's through those actions there. So like, if you imagine like you've got a speech bubble over the top of your head or a cloud over your head, and you go into that, and you understand it from the outside looking in, and then that way you can actually dissolve and look and be objective about what's going on, what the process is that's going on, and you can actually dissolve that energy. Okay, you can actually bring healing to your body. And it's to do it from the heart space, not the ego space. So when you start to identify with what's going on, so that thought process that's going on, that thing that's in your aura, okay, your imagination as you're imagining it, if you go into it too far, you'll identify with it and you'll start to be in a situation where you're living it and you're identifying with it and you're going through the emotional roller coaster of it. But the object is to keep it separate. Okay, and just look at these 2 things that are coming up. Okay, just working with 2 things. It's okay to do them one at a time. They can be there, but it's identifying the 2 things to work with, and then from the outside, understand what's going on without identification with them, and look at the reasons why they exist. And once you see the reason why they exist, they dissolve. Okay, and that's where you can find this inner healing. This is the basis of healing. It's healing the energy within the body. And this is how you do it, is by not identifying with it, and it's about releasing the energy and letting it go. Okay, so next week I'm going to do a little bit about names, okay, and about why we choose the names and what names mean. So obviously I use my name as Matthewhaines. Oh, I've changed it from Phoenix being to Matthewhaines, and the reason for that is to honour my name. Okay, so I'm going to talk more about that next Friday, okay, on Friday. So this is at 11 o'clock on Mondays and Fridays. If you want to learn a little bit more about me, you can go onto my website, www.phoenixbeing30free.com. There's a little bit about me, or you can see me on Facebook, or just ask any question. Blessings, have a lovely, lovely day, and don't forget what's in the box. See you Friday. I'll work out how to end it again.